Did I ever tell you about the time when I used to run a whorehouse? Big old house full of whores. Lean in, because this is going to be good. So, a few months ago, I had a past life regression therapy session with Neoshi Hypno. Shout out Neoshi Hypno. It was one of the most interesting experiences I've ever had. So I know when you think about hypnosis, you kind of get that picture of like somebody counting backwards and controlling you that we've seen in movies. But it's nothing like that at all. Promise you, it is so safe and you will feel so good afterwards. It really is like being in a deep meditative state. You're awake, you're aware, you're of sound mind and body, but you have someone who's guiding you through this process of self-reflection and self-awareness, which you know I'm all about. And so during my past life regression therapy session with Neoshi Hypno, I discovered that in a past life, I used to be a whole madam. I had an entire house full of women who were sex workers. And in the midst of going through the process of connecting with this past life and seeing myself and seeing the things that I experienced, it made immediate sense to me, right? I know a lot of us have judgments about sex and sex workers and women who choose to live their lives in that way. But for me, it immediately connected to a sense of feminine power and empowerment, right? And in this past life, I don't know what year it was, but I do know that there were no roads and it was all dirt and the homes were like shacks, right, at the time. So it was probably hundreds of years ago, at least 100 years ago. And if we think about how women were operating in that way, they had to generally rely on men. They weren't able to seek education. They weren't able to climb the social ladder. And sex became a tool. And so in going through this experience with Neoshi, what I realized is that you are always you. You are always carrying the same fundamental principles, but you get to evolve over time. Not only in one life to a next, if that's what you believe in. I do, but you don't have to believe what I do. But even in this life, you're living different lived experiences and you're changing and you're evolving. But at your core, you are always who you are. And so for me, empowering women, helping women to become sacred queens and to live life from a place of personal power has always been important. And looking at your past is going to give you clues into who you are. So if you're feeling stuck, if you're looking for purpose, if you're trying to find your way, take some time to really think about what you've experienced in your past, what you have gone through in your past, and what your core fundamental beliefs are. You'll get so much guidance from that simple process. It's important for us to recognize that sex is such a connecting behavior, such a connecting pattern. It's an intercourse. We share energy. We share spiritual experiences. We share thoughts and all of these things. And so when a woman decides to own her sexual prowess and own her sexual power, what she's saying to life, what she's saying to herself, and what she's saying to society is that I have the right to take ownership and agency of myself. And I want you to take that with you into your life now. Sex is a beautiful thing. It's such a powerful tool, and it is the way for you to reconnect to your femininity and ground in your womanhood, as long as you own it and don't give your power away to anyone else. If you have any questions about past life regression, I want you to hit up my girl Neoshi. I'll put her information below. If you have any questions, I want you to leave them down below as well. And I'd love to just hear your thoughts about your past, my past, whorehouses, whores, and all the things. Leave the comments below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time on the next episode.